Hi, today we're going to talk about stinky towels and feet. So I'm back again with another excerpt from my book, Finding Yoyu, and I will jump right in. After solving our bathroom door problem, we were on a mission. Both Akira and I got good at noticing what bothered us, and it became a game to try and find a solution that would make everyone happy. Finding and solving these minor irritations gave us something to celebrate. However, there was one irritant that stumped us for days. Every morning we noticed that something smelled like an old towel full of bacteria whenever we walked past Otosan's room. It made no sense. I knew that all his towels and clothes were clean because I washed them. I had an ultra-sensitive nose and knew I didn't imagine the smell. The smell had to be coming from somewhere. But where? I had read that people with Alzheimer's like to hide things, so I checked every nook and cranny of his room. The room was less than 80 square feet, a tiny space, but I couldn't find anything in his room that smelled like an old stinky towel. I checked his pillow, blanket, chair, jacket, handkerchief, and hat. I opened drawers and pulled everything out of his closet. Even though it wasn't a rotten food smell, I was afraid something was rotting somewhere in Otosan's room. Why couldn't I find the source of the smell? Finally, one morning, I got a big clue. Otosan had just had a shower and was sitting on his bed with the door open. I could smell that stinky old towel as I walked past his room. I knew it wasn't his bath towel because that was hanging on the shower door. No, the smell was definitely coming from his room. Otosan was holding his hand mirror and looking at his face. These days, he could easily spend hours looking at and feeling his face for stubble. He kept one razor in the shower and several on the nightstand next to his bed. He often sat on his bed with a razor and shaved again and again to get any stubble he might have missed in the shower. I wondered if the smell was coming from one of his razors. I waited for Otosan to go into the living room to watch TV. Then I slipped into his room, grabbed his razor, and braced myself for a sniff. It didn't smell like roses, but it didn't smell like a stinky towel either. I was still stumped. As I returned his razor to the shelf next to his container of face cream, my hand paused. It couldn't be. Or could it? The brand of face cream he used came in a big round green container with a wide screw-on lid. I remembered that when he ran out before, I found a cloth inside. I assumed that he didn't want to waste the last bit of cream and used the cloth to get it. I was wrong. When I opened the container, I nearly fell over from the smell. I found the source of the stinky towel odor. Inside the container, I found 3 different cloths layered one on top of the other. On top, there was a face mask like people wear when they have a cold. Below that was one of the dry sheets that go on a Swiffer broom, only it was no longer dry. I wasn't sure what the bottom cloth was. They were all 3 in the container and completely saturated with the cream. I took the container into the living room where Otosan was watching TV and showed him. He told me that he put the cloths in the container to soak up the cream and was using them to rub the cream into his face. When I opened the container and had him smell the cloths, he grimaced. Fortunately, he agreed they smelled terrible and that the cream underneath was also stinky. Every morning for weeks, he had been taking a shower and then rubbing those bacteria-filled cloths all over his face. Why he didn't notice how bad they smelled still surprises me. I threw the container out and gave Otosan some of my cream that comes out of a tube. He was happy, headed back to his room, and started shaving again. Later, I got him a new container of cream. The stinky towel smell was gone. Unlike the locked door to the toilet and the mysterious stinky towel smell, Otosan's feet were one irritation that fell into the big issue bucket, meaning I couldn't find an easy solution to keep them from irritating me. Every morning after breakfast, I would move to my home office and work on my computer for a few hours before lunch. Otosan would stay in the living room and watch TV. Every time I headed down the hall to the bathroom or the kitchen, I would see Otosan's feet sticking out, just like the witch in The Wizard of Oz. Thanks to the living room layout and where he lounged on a cushion on the floor, all I could see were his feet. No body, just feet. His feet irritated me. They were clean and all the toenails were in good condition. They were good feet. There was no reason why these feet should bother me so, but they did. Otosan was still capable of dressing, bathing, and eating by himself, but finding something to do besides watching TV was challenging. It had only been a few months since we moved him to the city and away from the farm where he lived all his adult life and where he easily kept himself busy all day. Seeing Otosan's feet brought up an inner dialogue of shoulds. He has nothing to do. I should help him find something. He worked hard all his life and has the right to sit and watch TV all day if he wants. I should leave him be. If he doesn't get up and move around, his muscles will waste away and walking will become problematic. I should encourage him to get up and move. I should hide the bean buds for lunch and ask him to go to the corner store and buy more so he's forced to get out. I should sit and chat with him for a few minutes, engage him. I should find a new chore for him to do. He is napping. He is not complaining. I should get back to my work. I realized it was not my responsibility to entertain Otosan all day. Still, it pained me to see those feet because they screamed of boredom. Otosan was an animated man who shined when it was his turn to talk. If you gave him the opportunity, he would talk nonstop for 2 hours or more. I knew it because I had timed him the summer before. Now all he did was watch TV. 2 feet, 1 bored man, 1 guilty daughter-in-law. Those 2 feet, more than anything else, compelled me to seek out more help for Otosan. I desperately needed him to have something to do. The guilt was driving me crazy. All right. Well, it didn't take too much longer after that for us to get some special help for Otosan. It was something that helped him, didn't necessarily help me, but I'll share about that on another day. So that's all for today. And if you know somebody who might enjoy this story, please share the videos. And if you haven't already, subscribe so that you'll know when the next video comes out. I usually post a new one every week, but just in case, if you subscribe, then you'll be notified. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.